Evening sports fans, coming to you this evening from the lounge. The cats are never around when I do this, so eventually you'll get to meet them. It's a short message for you this evening. I just wanted to say this, that sometimes it's the little things that cause us grief. The Bible talks about it's the little foxes that spoil the vine, and it's like the context of that is that in Israel and the Middle East, these foxes would get in and attack the roots by digging foxholes and stuff, and they would damage the roots of the vine and kill these huge vines. And I just had two experiences today that got me thinking along this, and was trying to think of what to share with you that might help. And the first was a gentleman who I met today who, good investor, active investor, and recently bought a really good deal in Tokoroa. But he heard me speak recently, and I always kind of try and throw in at least one Tokoroa joke. And when he heard me, he thought, oh no, it kind of really threw him. Oh, if Dean thinks investing in Tokoroa is bad, maybe I shouldn't invest there. So this deal that he bought, he was going to assign or trade, and that's okay. But the interesting thing was that he thought it was a good deal and he was quite happy to keep it, and from hearing one little thing he's decided to change. And it was interesting, when I was in Taupo recently and stayed with Fritz, and Fritz was talking about the sawmill that burnt down there, and that they're not going to rebuild it in Taupo, they're going to rebuild it in Tokoroa. And also Graham Hart, who's buying up most of the planet, bought an independent mill in Taupo and shut that down, and if it reopens, or it's going to be incorporated into another one in Tokoroa. So there's going to be like 200 new jobs in Tokoroa, which is like going to quadruple the working population. So in fact, having these units in Tokoroa is really good. For this guy, whether he keeps them or, is cool. And the other thing that happened today was I had somebody ring who heard me, or he came to one of my lease options weekends, and she was about to complete her first lease option. It was all going well, and she'd gotten in front of, I think it was a solicitor who had spun her a whole lot of nonsense about lease options, almost saying they were illegal and they were this and that. So fortunately she rang me to get my opinion, and I suggested that concrete gumboots would be good for this professional who didn't know what they were talking about. And so she was very relieved by the end of her telephone conversation with me. But had she not rung me, by getting one bit of advice that was nonsense, and she hadn't even asked for it, it had just come out of left field, she was not going to proceed down this particular strategy, and it's a strategy that could see her financially free for life. So just, be aware of that. Now, when you get new information, one of the things we need to train ourselves to do is to analyse it and to weigh it up and judge it. And if it's something important, we need to think about that and get good advice. If you join my forum, where you can ask questions about property related stuff and get factual answers from the top professionals, or some of the top professionals in the country. But whatever it is, you get a piece of new information, you need to decide what to do with that. Don't just let it throw you. When I talk about goal setting a lot, I will say that if somebody could come along and say to you, you should be doing this, it would be good for you, and you would kind of go off and do it, then that means that your life is very directionless. If you can be changed like that, then that is not a good thing. And so it's the little things that can cause you some grief. There's an expression, the devil is in the detail. And so just be aware of that the devil, to me, as a Christian, the devil is in the detail. In other words, sometimes the little things can be a problem, and they don't need to be. Sometimes one little bit of information can really change what you're going to do in a particular situation, and you need to not allow yourself to go way over here without having weighed up whether that really is where you should be going. Sometimes it is. You suddenly find out that a house is leaky, then yep, you're going to do 180 degrees. But when in this business, man, the more I do it, the more I just cannot believe the amount of bad advice that is out there, the amount of ignorant professionals there are, the amount of people who claim to be experts and who really don't know what they're talking about. And you know, I don't claim to be an expert. All I do is share what I'm doing and I know is working for me. But I'll tell you what, I spend a lot of money paying a lot of experts so that I know that I can sleep at night. Inland Revenue Department's always going to love me. I don't have to worry about doing anything bent or left field, or you know. And so I try to share that with you guys because I want you all to be able to sleep at night as well. But there would not be a day go by when I don't hear something that I just think, I cannot believe that people still think the earth is flat. So there you go. Good evening, and hopefully tomorrow you'll get to meet the cats. See you soon. Bye-bye.